basketball league is nearly 60 years old. It's a sport that has been professionally organized. At the same side, you have an urban, NBA-driven basketball culture coming from street ball, etc. So who's your customer? The ones that you have already sitting in the stadiums, or the ones you don't have?
Hi everyone. For this episode of Retention Zone, I have the pleasure to have with me Andreas Heyden, the CEO of Dyn.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. So Dyn is, can I call it the new kid on the block in Germany, or is it enough?
Oh yeah. We are just only 7 months old, so we are quite fresh. But we already broadcasted 1,500 games. So
oh wow,
young and old at the same time.
So tell me a bit about your journey until being the CEO of Dyn.
So I very early have learned in my childhood that I like media. So I worked in the student newspaper at my school. I very early got into the internet, got getting into connected. And then mid-90s, the internet became large, and I decided for myself, I like the idea of having information distributed and communication distributed throughout the world, and have content available whenever you want to receive it, and not when the director of the television tells you to watch a certain series at a defined point in time. I was always disappointed when I was a child when a TV show was over and I can't see the next round of Mickey Mouse or whatever. Yeah. And so after having spent my time in the .com time, I started with at RTL, a very large television station, and since 2001 I've worked into journalism and media for 7 years, and I learned quite quickly that bandwidth is getting better, browsers getting better, computers are getting faster, and launched my first video service at RTL around 2007, 2008. I then moved to ProSieben, was the CEO of Maxdome, which was a video on demand service, and a small startup in between. And 2015, there was a call from Frankfurt. I thank God answered the phone, and we got into talks whether I like sports. And since then, I'm in the sports business, and spent 7 years at the DFL, the Deutsche Fußballliga, which operates the Bundesliga. And now since August 22, 22, I'm the CEO of Dyn. That's my story in a nutshell.
Yeah. So Dyn is a streaming platform in Germany for second-tier sport, but there's clearly a better story than that, correct?
Yeah, sure. We have roughly 50% of Germany, so over 40 million people, are interested in sport. 23 million people are interested in football. We are the ones for the other half. So on our platform, we are the home of handball, home of basketball, home of table tennis, home of hockey, home of volleyball, where we always have the national league, most of the time the women's first league, most of the time a second league, very often, nearly always the local cup, European rights, sometimes with table tennis, even international rights. Right now, we are broadcasting from, we have broadcasted from Singapore and the WTT International Table Tennis Tournament. And we believe if you really talk to the fan, listen to the customer, the passion, the love that somebody brings for hockey, for volleyball, for table tennis, for basketball is not 1 inch less than somebody for sports, for football. If you talk to coaches, if you talk to the people doing the sport, they don't train less, and they are not less committed into winning than in football. So it's an endeavor really worth investing in, because we're going to change the sports landscape throughout the next years, and making those leagues increase their awareness and create attention for their great sports.
So on one end, you have a deeper partnership that a traditional company buying rights and distributing on a streaming platform. On the other end, I'm always focused in this podcast on monetization. So let's start simple from how do I buy Dine? What is
Yeah.
your model or models? Sorry.
Yeah, so we have three models. The first model is sure the subscription model. You have a yearly subscription, you have a monthly subscription, €14.50 in a monthly subscription. It's an all-you-can-eat package, so you once buy and you have access to all sports. Secondly, we have been already fairly successful, and we will be more around advertising and sponsoring. So we have a big brand strategy of partners on our platform who advertise a lot already. And the third one is sub-licensing, where we have rights which we want to share with others. There are possibilities to create packages, always being in mind not just for revenue, but also for gaining awareness for the sports and benefiting from it at the end, the awareness towards selling subscriptions.
And what going a bit deeper, and you share what you can share, obviously. How was the decision or the rationale of deciding all you can eat is the way we go? We don't go sport by sport.
Well, the um, the research has shown that we have between those 5 sports that we're building the home of for an overlap of 10 to 15% of those people. So for us, the growth of the net reach is not limited by people following all sports. Next to that, we have decided to build a product that feels like a home off. So if you tell us, or we see in the sign up process, you're coming from handball, you directly land on OTT, web, smart TV, everywhere in the world of handball, and you don't get distracted in your point of view as a hardcore handball fan, as I know you are.
Yeah.
You don't get distracted by basketball content or other kind of content, which may lead for you to think, oh damn, I'm paying for that too. The price point before to watch handball, you needed a couple of subscriptions and you paid at the end €40 a month. So
Okay.
also for the customers, it's just a great value. The people who love handball get for that subscription all the handball they want because we have it all exclusively. The people who watch more than one sport have additional benefits on top. To be honest, we could have charged more, but we wanted to have a start into the market which is fair, transparent, and we wanted to give, as we are new kid on the block, we want to give easy access with a low barrier into our product.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because I understand that then you can through the years develop it, make it more sophisticated. But one crucial thing when you start, it has to be simple. Because
Yes.
I don't know who you are. I may be intrigued because you have the content I need. But then if you start asking me 10,000 questions before I sign up, I mean, there's no. And
Yeah.
I think how are the audiences? Because I was discussing with someone on vertical sports, and very often the audience, for example, the fans of handball are different from the one of. So, do you see the audiences being really different sport by sport, or they have kind of a common traits? The example I was made was golf and table tennis, different audiences for sure. In your case?
I wouldn't even know if there are really different audiences. So we see different behavior patterns throughout the different sports. One part is more on smart TV, the other part is more on mobile. The ratio of on-platform reach to off-platform reach differs between different sports, where we have sometimes in relationship a higher degree of social reach and engagement, sometimes not. In the targeting of our advertising, how we are selling the products, how we do the targeting on social media, we have seen lots of surprises. So it's very tough to say the average fan is 48 years old, but how are the age patterns? So basketball, for example, has a very traditional, big tradition in Germany. The German basketball league is nearly 60 years old. It's a sport that has been professionally organized a lot, but it has more an academic background. It's coming more from academic cities, you know. At the same side, you have an urban, NBA-driven basketball culture coming from street ball, etc. So who's your customer? The ones that you have already sitting in the stadiums, or the ones you don't have, who need to develop and show them how great German football is next to the NBA. And people like Dennis Schröder, who unite both worlds, who is the major shareholder or owner of Braunschweig, a basketball club, and at the same time playing in the NBA. It's a really good bridge across the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fascinating. So I can imagine your direct-to-consumer marketing strategy are quite sophisticated, but you're also learning as you develop the audience, I guess.
Yes.
And in terms of marketing, so you started from zero. So I don't know. At some point, you had 1,000 customers. The rest,
At one point, we had one customer, me.
And
Yeah.
so at the beginning, it's clearly all the marketing you can make, but to acquire customer, right?
Yeah.
But I know that you have, so with this deep partnership with the clubs, with the league, how is so one thing, you can go out on whatever digital social to market, but then how are you using, the league club / component of the sport to help you and supporting the acquisition in the beginning?
Yeah. Everybody who has worked in media knows there is a difference between having the right and getting the content. Sometimes in your contract you say, oh, you can have all the right, but then you have to send a fax and you get a VHS cassette. So it was crucial for us from day one to make all content that we have defined before available to clubs, fans, players, and the league as easy and as fast as possible. So we invested into a piece of infrastructure and a whole infrastructure called Content Desk, which gets input by broadcast content, data, text, AI clips, clubs, leaks. So in our contracts, clubs are obliged to create content while the match is happening and sending it to us. And the output goes to our OTT platform, to social, to our media partners, to the club, and to the leagues. So whenever something happening or a game has happened, we are putting all these content into the content desk. There are windows from when the partners who are receiving the content are able to or allowed to post it, for sure, because there is a certain protection of rights, but we make it as easy and as convenient for them as possible to get the content and work with that content.
And in terms of, and again, I understand that this will grow and grow. What about the moment you have now all these subscribers, you need to retain them. What do you think will be, in your case, because again, every case can be a bit different. What will be the strategy, the secret sauce to retain customer for long in your case? I don't know, content, the service, the pricing.
Yeah, I think a public secret sauce is our Move Your Sport program, where 10% of the revenue of the customer is dedicated, given back to the leagues, to the youth development of the sport. And the customer himself, herself decides in the sign-up project and in their profile which sport we support with their money. The second part is that we take their views and their comments really serious, and we are in an active discussion with them, and we are very proactive discussing with them. And for example, we have sent out a yearly survey, which we now do every January, to roughly 60% of our customer base via email, and we got a return of 20%.
Wow.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before. So you send out a mailing, please tell us how you like it, and 20% of them give you feedback. And it was not complaining. It was a lot of positive feedback in it. And thirdly, I think we are very fair and transparent. If you want to quit the service, it's 2 clicks. So we don't try to hide the cancel button because yeah, you've seen
Yeah,
that stuff already, huh?
say
So
nothing.
it is for us trying to be transparent, trying to be fair. And yes, we're going to make offers throughout the year to get people on the platform. But as we have the longest running soap opera of the world is sport. You always have a beginning, a mid, a drama at the end, a winner. It's somebody who gets promoted, somebody who dies in the last second.
Yeah,
And 6 weeks later, it all starts from the beginning again.
yeah,
And this is, I would say, and you've been working in sport for 30 years plus.
37. 37. Shit,
So
mamma mia.
you know it. It is the most
Yeah,
beautiful content that you're able to work for and to cater to customers, because it's repetitive but always new each season, and B, it is the high end of entertainment. Doing live sports, there is nothing more exciting in a situation where seconds are minutes and minutes are hours if something goes wrong, and you have the most critical fans who, even if you would give it them for free, they still criticize you that you can get better. And in
see,
reality,
absolutely.
you always can get better. Like somebody who
Yeah,
plays sport, it's the
yeah,
same with doing sports broadcasting.
yeah. And one last question is about obviously we know this generates a lot of data, audience data, consumption data. What is your strategy going forward to use this data to get informed decision? Oh, look, yeah, they say they like it, but this type of things they don't really watch, or we have problem with cards. Obviously, you're in one country, which, for example, for payments or subscription, makes it a bit easier. But
Yeah, we have
there are a
3
lot of
with Austria and Switzerland, but we don't cater to
yeah.
Indonesia.
Sorry, yes,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
What about
So
the data aspect of it?
I think the first contract I signed was the Snowflake contract.
Okay.
So as we are
Yeah. Okay.
cloud native, the first thing, all under data regulations and everything, but the first thing is get the data in, get it in a structured way, make it accessible through cloud-based services, have BI tools working on that data, have recommendation working on that data, have push notifications working on data, having the whole customer relationship to drive retention, accessing the data, learning from the data, and feedbacking back. This is the one side. The second side is a qualitative research where we talk to our customers, ask for feedback, where we measure NPS, where we go into forums, where we're going to create closed user groups with their admins or people who want to contribute. So it's all about discussion. It's all about exchange. It's all about trying stuff, measuring, and getting back, just being agile, to make it short.
And on that, is seasonality, because you have more sports, is seasonality an issue? So there is a moment where naturally fans say, why should I pay this month? Or not?
As we are doing since 23rd of
You
August,
still don't know. You still don't know.
everything for the first time. We do that in the update next year. How my summer was.
Okay. Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
as I'm not blind. We see the future. We see that sure, people are gonna, especially the ones with the monthly subscription, are gonna cancel their subscription. And I've put it in my business case from version 1 that we're gonna get less customers and that customers are gonna churn. But I would bet a big wheel of Parmigiano onto a cheese that a lot of people who cancel their subscription by the end of this season are going to come back later. And at the end, you have to respect that.
Yeah,
If
I
people
agree.
decide to cancel, make it okay, easy for them. Ask them why, but make it okay, easy for them, because they're going to remember and they're going to come back. And especially in the German culture, paying for something that you don't get, we don't like that.
Yeah.
But also content-wise, we try to provide new content, relevant content to those people in the summer to provide value for their subscription.
To the state. Va bene, Andreas, it's been fascinating. I love the fact that you started something from zero. We need to do 1 year from now another episode so you can tell me what you learned. Okay? And
Mille
good luck
grazie,
for
mille
Dine.
grazie.
Good luck for Dine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Ciao, ciao, Andrea.